why does the BMW XM exist? Now, honestly, I have no idea why they made a car like this. Now, it's basically a BMW SUV. It's similar in size to the 5 Series or the 7 Series maybe. But it's supposed to be an XM. So basically, BMW's M division is all about sports and the handling and all that. That's the peak of their lineup, the M5, the M3, all that. And here they decide to make an SUV version of from their M division. But honestly, I don't know why. Because SUVs in theory aren't sporty. Because it's a big, it has big ground clearance. There's a lot of roll. It's not really practical enough to be a sports car. But they decide to go and make it. Now, yes, I know there's a bit of popularity with sports SUVs right now, or super SUVs. Now, the Lamborghini Urus is an example of that, but that car did really well. But this car has some serious issues. Now, first of all, the powertrain. Now, basically, it uses a V8 engine, which is also assisted by an electric motor, but the combined output is just 640 something horsepower. Now, that doesn't add up, because the turbocharged V8s of the BMWs and the other cars, the M5 and the X5 and all that, those cars, the max versions, put out 630 horsepower. But this thing puts out just 644 horsepower when you add an electric powertrain. That doesn't really add up. Now, it wouldn't be that big of an issue, except for the fact that because of the electric motors and the battery, this car's become much heavier. I mean, it's much heavier compared to most other SUVs. This thing is 3,000 kilos or 6,000 pounds, just really heavy for an SUV. And because of that, even the engine can't put down the power that well, and it doesn't have those remarkable 0 to 60 times at all, which kind of defeats the purpose of this being an XM, the ultimate BMW SUV. Now basically, the power is very similar to the X5 and the X6 and all that. And this car is really expensive. This is the most expensive BMW ever, apparently. And all that combined, it doesn't really look like a good deal. So it only has 644 horsepower. It's really heavy. It's an SUV, so it's not the sportiest. Even if BMW did do a lot of work on making it sporty. And it's really expensive. So yeah, there's a lot of flaws with this car, and I don't really think this car needed to exist. I mean, if anything, it should have existed in the form of sedan, a sports sedan, similar to the CSL. Maybe they could have made a CSL and called it the XM. That would be acceptable, but I mean, you couldn't call it the XM because the X belongs to the SUVs, but you get what I mean. That's what this car should have been. And that's not a practical car, and I don't see any reason why anyone would spend that much money on this car, because you're not getting that sporty experience that you're paying for in this car. So yeah, that's why I'm wondering why the XM even exists.